Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here at the 2024 CUSA Kickoff presented by Sideline Design. We're here with New Mexico State head coach Tony Sanchez and student athletes Shiaz Pete and Buddha Paletti. We're going to start with an opening statement from Coach before we jump to questions. And those on Zoom, raise your hands and we'll get to you after we're done in the room. Coach?
Yeah, well, exciting to be here. Obviously, getting ready for this 2024 kickoff. We start camp next Wednesday, and it's been a busy offseason. Obviously, we had a really good year last year, and there's been a lot of transition since, with coaching staff and players. But we got a great core of young men coming back. Had a tremendous offseason, been a really good summer. So really excited about it. We've done a really good job of changing the culture over the last 2 years. And excited to dig back in and continue to keep it going in a positive direction and fight for that third bowl game in a row. Never done that before in school history, and I think we're lined up to do so. So expectations have definitely risen. Nothing's changed, and I know our guys are steadfast in our pursuit of a conference championship, and we want to get back there and continue to fight for it. So excited about the season and what's coming up, and excited for these young men sitting next to me.
All right, we'll jump to questions. Starting in the back.
Coach Tony Thomas, College Football Dogs. How do you overcome the interruption in continuity at the quarterback position and in the coaching staff coming into this season? Well,
when you take a new job, more times than not, you're going to be moving to a new place and bringing in a whole new staff. So it's kind of what's happened, I think with Coach Mitchell, our offensive line coach, and really our entire two-deep offensive line coming back, that's really important. Tyler Wright, who we were with at TCU, been with us the last 2 years, who's calling the offense. Again, the three of us, we've kind of worked hand in hand. So offensively, 3 of the 5 guys that are really, dug in and creating those game plans are right there. Defensively, hiring Joe Morris from Sam Houston, he did a tremendous job. You look at what they did last year, the success that they had on the defensive side of the ball, that's really where they kind of, had their meat and potatoes. So bringing him over, I think, is going to be, a lift to us. I mean, you look at the last 2 games of the season, and we got shredded apart pretty good, and I think that just a little bit of a change over there is going to make a big difference. But the biggest thing now, and I think we're all dealing with it, some people more than others, but with the transfer portal, with NIL, with all the different things that are going on, you're going to deal with transition. When we first got to New Mexico State 2 years ago, I think in the summertime we brought in 30 new players. Last year we were in the mid-30s again. This year we're at 42. So it's a lot, but it's something we've dealt with the last 2 years. Again, we've got a lot of older guys that are very experienced coming back. We brought a lot of talented guys in from other places. The biggest deal nowadays is how quick can you gel that group, right? And then the obvious question is quarterback, right? Diego Pavia had a tremendous 2 years for us. He was kind of a run-first guy. He led our team in rushing. We kind of want to get away from that. We want to hand the ball to these talented backs, run the ball that way. Deuce Hogan and Parker Wadd had a really good spring with us. Santino Mariucci from Wake Forest came in the summertime. He started last year, beat Pitt, did some really good things. Jake McNamara from UTEP transferred in too. So we've got 4 really capable guys. So I'm excited to see these guys compete. But, just watching them in the summer, watching them throw, watching them work out, I mean, they're talented guys. So I don't have any trepidation with the group at all.
All right, we'll jump to the middle and then come to the front.
Coach TP Hammock with the AHSFHS, talking about you are succeeding. Jerry Kill obviously had a legendary time with the Aggies. Talk about what Coach Kill had on you as a coach and his impact.
Yeah, Coach is tremendous. I mean, we spent time together at TCU as analysts. And then obviously traveled back over with them. And, he just had a lot of grit, a lot of toughness. And, one of the biggest things he did is he hired a really talented staff. I mean, we had a lot of young, talented guys. We recruited relentlessly. He did a really good job of letting us just do our jobs. I mean, he was a good leader from the top. I think the biggest thing that he did, and it's really in hand in hand with our athletic director, Mario Mocha, pointed out the deficiencies that we had that we never addressed at the university for years. And we didn't feed our guys the right way. We had low staff salaries. Our strength department, our academic support and help, the way we traveled, just the way we did things was not, it did not line up with having success. So there's a reason you don't. Well, he really pointed those things out, and him and our athletic director, went toe-to-toe. Our president jumped in. Community jumped in. We raised a lot of money. We're building a brand-new football facility right now that's under construction as we speak. New scoreboard coming in. We feed our guys. We spent more money on food last year than any team in Conference USA. We feed our guys 3 times a day. We added analysts to the program, and we've done things you need to do investment-wise, and Jerry is a big reason for that. But, to me, it's just one of the, what he's done for me is obviously he's given me opportunity. But just he was relentless and tough and never made excuses. And I think if you're going to turn a program like this around and continue to keep it going, you're going to have to be that way.
Up here in the front.
Kevin Capps from Football Writers of America. Shiaz, you're on our Outland Trophy watch list for this season. What does that mean to you?
It is a great honor. I'm excited to, I'm glad to be on that watch list. Right now, though, I am just taking it day to day, working on my upper body strength and focusing on technique right now, but it is a great honor.
We'll jump to Zoom for Light on Sports. Go ahead.
Coach Sanchez, as you enter your first season in the fall, how massive is it to return nearly the entire offensive line from last year?
Well, it's huge. I remember an interview not too long ago, and Jim Harbaugh was talking about building a football team. He said the most important thing on a football team is your offensive line. And it really is. It all starts from there. It helps you control the game, control the line of scrimmage. And we're not just returning guys. Most of our guys are 3-year starters, if not 2-year starters. So I'm excited about it. And when you're breaking in a new quarterback, you're breaking in a new offensive coordinator, to have that piece intact is huge. So I'm excited about it. It's I really think we're going to give a lot of people a moment of pause this year, and it's all going to start up front.
I'll ask a question. Buddha, you guys are only returning 2 starters on defense. What have you kind of stepped into a leadership role, and how are you guiding the rest of the team?
Can you repeat that?
How are you kind of guiding the team as you only have 2 returning starters on defense?
I feel like, us having 2 people returning, it don't really mean much for us. At the end of the day, whoever stays and whoever's here, they're Aggies. We have a culture here, and we're building around it. And since the spring, I think that we've had a train going, and it doesn't stop for anybody. So, anybody who's here and anybody who's joined us, we're still on the same train and we're moving the same path. So whoever we have, I feel like our defense will still be successful.
Jump to the middle.
Coach, after the success last year, whenever y'all, finished very high in the Conference USA, went to an SEC opponent, dominated there. It seems like this season you guys have gone from the hunters to the hunted. So, as coaches, how do y'all handle that situation from going, with a target on your back now?
Yeah, I think your approach has always got to be your hunting. I think that's the way you got to preach it. You got to talk about it. All I got to do is flip through the pages of history, and people realize that we are not out of the woods yet. It's our success is very new. It's really fresh. When you look at last year and the 10 wins, I think 6 of those games were 1-score games. They can flip in a second, and we know we're going to be in a bunch of those again. Good thing is we've got some great young leaders coming back, guys that have been around for a long time. When you talk about, starters and things like that coming back, well, we got a lot of guys that started, but they started in other programs last yeyear, So we've got a lot of guys with experience on both sides of the ball that have been in a lot of heated battles. So it's just a messaging from the coaches. You got to approach it one game at a time. It's a tough game. It's hard to win football games, and our goals are completely set on week 1. We've come out of the gate and stubbed our toe 2 years in a row. We've been 0-1 2 years in a row. We want to get that first win against SEMO. And then from there, we just kind of take it week by week. But we know that we've got to have a chip on our shoulder. We cannot take the chip off our shoulder. Our ship has not arrived. We are in rough waters, and we love the hell out of it.
All right, we'll jump back to Zoom for Sam Guzman.
Hey, Coach Sanchez, Sam Guzman, KTSM 9 News. I know you kind of touched on it briefly there, but quarterback room looks stacked for this upcoming season. I know you didn't want to name a starter in the spring, understandably so. What exactly are you going to be looking for in that quarterback spot this fall when you want to name your starter for this upcoming season?
Consistency and toughness. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like I said, we've got 4 guys that have a variety of experience, at different places. Obviously, we had a couple we worked with in the spring. The biggest thing is we're going to have to create a lot of challenging situations for them early in camp because we want to get this question answered as fast as we can. What's the timeline on that? I can't answer that right now. We'll see when we get out there, but we got to put these guys in competitive situations. We've got to, again, challenge them. And, obviously you got to perform at a high level. You have to be efficient. It's impossible to be a quality quarterback without being efficient. And you got to have some toughness and leadership ability. So I think, these guys that showed up in the summer, guys that have been here in the spring, that we're going to see what personality really steps to the forefront. Who comes in every day ready to compete, who can overcome maybe a challenging day, and we're going to make sure we put those guys in those situations and get that question answered. I'm really confident in the talent we have, the arm strength we have, the mobility we have in this group, but really the intangibles, and that's what we got to find out. That's what Diego was. Diego was an intangible guy. I mean, if he ran a 40 and did a vertical jump and did an accuracy contest, he wasn't going to win any of those, but he won a lot of football games. So we got to find out who's that guy for us right now.
Any other questions for Coach or the players? Nope. All right. Coach, gentlemen, thank you for your time.